Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It's a Friday night in September, and we have a pennant race. The Yankees and the Orioles are tied atop the American League East with 19 games left to play, and the Tampa Bay Rays are 4 behind. Oh yeah, it's time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with John Flaherty and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. The Yankees are happy to be home. 11 days on the road, 10 games, and they were 5-5. So they really needed the game last night against the Red Sox to take the series and go 500 on the trip. They got good pitching and decent hitting. They won 2-0.
Well, they got a big hit last night from Derek Jeter in the top of the 7th inning. A big hit for him, ties him with Willie Mays on 10th place on the all-time hit list, but also a big hit for the Yankees with a runner in scoring position, a 2-0 lead. You hand the ball over to your closer. Soriano at the back end of the bullpen has been a rock. His 38th save, and more importantly, the Yankees lead Boston with a 2-0 win.
And there's more baseball. You win one, you got another one the next night. Tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup has David Price on the mound for Tampa Bay. We'll talk with John about David in just a moment. CC Sabathia for the Yankees, 13-5, 3.56. And David, the Yankees need CC to be better than he's been of late.
Well, yeah, you can tell that he's struggling a little bit. He's been so durable throughout his entire career. This is really the first year that he's had some injury bugs. He's had a leg issue and an elbow issue. And the big thing with Sabathia is that he's given up some leads lately and also given up some big flies. He got banged around at Camden Yards, which can happen in that ballpark, but very uncharacteristic for the big Sabathia, who has been a dominant pitcher his entire career. But you see the last 3 starts, 0-2, even though the walks to strikeouts are good, it's the big fly that's hurt him. But he's going to get the ball back tonight, where he loves pitching at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees need him to be the real CC Sabathia.
And the Rays need David Price to be the real David Price. They just got swept by the Orioles. They need a win. They could fall out of it. When we come back, John Flaherty will break down David Price of late on Yes. The Delta League leaders, Major League leaders in wins. Gio Gonzalez tops the list with 19, R.A. Dickey with 18. Then there are 3 that are tied with 17, including tonight's Yankee opponent, David Price of the Rays. Here with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. David Cohn will rejoin us in just a moment. David Price has always been an outstanding pitcher. He's a competitor for the Cy Young this year, but the Yankees always seem to have his number just a bit.
Well, I think David Price came up as more of a thrower. He's a hard thrower, good fastball. He pitches a little bit more now. The good breaking ball, he will mix in a changeup when he needs it, but when he needs a big out, he goes to the fastball inside with great velocity. A little bit of concern for the Rays. He missed his last start with some shoulder problems. We'll see how he looks tonight as his top top of the rotation guy.
Top of the rotation matchup, David Price against CC Sabathia. It doesn't get much better than that. The two aces going up against each other for a big game. Lineups, first pitch, baseball next on Yes. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Well, there's certainly humidity gone from Yankee Stadium. There's a little bit of a chill in the air. Certainly not cold by any means, but you almost feel like it's coming on fall. The Yankees certainly want to be playing this fall, and they've got some winning to do over the next 19 games as they head into that stretch tied with the Baltimore Orioles. So the Yankees have taken the field. Let's take a look at tonight's Rays starting lineup at the base presented by Bank of America. The left fielder Desmond Jennings will lead off. Batting second, the shortstop Ben Zobrist. Evan Longoria, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up center fielder B.J. Upton. Jeff Keppinger at third base bats fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Ben Francisco. The catcher is Chris Jimenez. He's going to bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing first base, Carlos Pena. And Elliott Johnson, a little shaky defensively. He'll be at second base, and he's going to bat ninth.
Going to look at CC Sabathia. Coming in looking for a good one. The Yankees need him to get going. You see his numbers on the year. This will be his 25th start. Obviously, he's missed a little bit of time with some injuries this year. Still a good record, decent ERA. The walks are down this year. And the scouting report. This is my house. He's 32-10 and 57 career starts at Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, with a 3.02 ERA. And get back on track. You know, we talked about it in the pregame. He's lost 2 straight decisions. He's never lost 3 straight as a member of the Yankees. And price check, well, since he's matched up with David Price tonight, his career, he's 1-4 with a 4.40 ERA and 7 starts, opposing that guy right there. So looking to reverse that tonight.
And he will be facing that man, David Price. So a battle of outstanding left-handers. And this one is a marquee matchup. And you would say that Tampa Bay is in a situation where they have to start winning some games. They're 4 games out, and time is dwindling. So Desmond Jennings digs in. He's ready. CC Sabathia is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway.
You know, David, you mentioned CC Sabathia is struggling a little bit his last time out, and velocity was down. That's a big conversation around the club. Not that he had a bad outing. His stuff was just a tick short. We'll see if it gets better tonight.
Count 1-1.
Peeking at the radar gun, 91 miles an hour early on.
The 1-1 pitch. Shattered bat and dribbled slowly to third. Alex Rodriguez, bare hands, fires. Got him. One away. Jennings has speed, almost beat it out, but a strong throw by A-Rod for the first out.
Well, not an easy play, and you mentioned his speed, Michael, with Jennings. He gets jammed and shatters his bat. Tough for Alex Rodriguez really to get a good read on it, and when it actually hits the grass, it has some spin, dies a little bit, but the strong throw from down under gets him by half a step.
And a good call by the first base umpire, Gary Darling.
And maybe it was a little closer than a half a step.
Here's Ben Zobrist. Grounded foul. What saved the Yankees there is because of the broken bat. Jennings couldn't get out of the box quick enough. It kind of set him back a little bit, and that cost him that half step. Zobrist, a pesky hitter. Rays just got swept by the Orioles at Camden Yards. The final 2 games they lost on walk-off singles. So they're trying to bounce back from that disappointment. There's a manager, Joe Madden. Pitch outside. Let's check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Jones, Granderson, and Swisher. Infield, we've seen A-Rod at third. You've got Nunez at short. Derek's at DH tonight. Cano and Pierce second and first. Martin behind the plate. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. The 2-1. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Said Gary Darling.
Well, Michael, you mentioned the Rays in Baltimore. We'll get a look from the side here on the swing, which he went. But the Rays scored 6 runs in 3 games in Baltimore. They're kind of falling back to that funk they were in before, really struggling to score runs. Could be a good matchup for CC Sabathia.
3-0 pitch. Buck Showalter turns the 20-year-old loose. The dive. Not enough, and that's when you got magic going on. When a ball just hits off a glove, falls in for a game winner, you let a 20-year-old swing 3-0, and it works out.
2-2. Upstairs.
You know, and talking to some of the Rays in the clubhouse before the game, and they admitted it, they said you play Baltimore in their building with their last chance, they come up to the plate, they're going to find a way to beat you. I mean, they've done it all year long in those 1-run games. And Tampa's on the flip side of that. They're losing a lot of 1-run games this year.
I found this to be an interesting stat, and it kind of sums up what Tampa Bay is about, with very good pitching and very little hitting. 20 games they've lost this year when the other team has scored 3 or fewer runs. 20 games they've lost. And I mean, imagine where the record would be if they've won half of those. They'd be in first. The 3-2. There's a base hit to right field. Good at bat for Zobrist. A 1-out single. The offense is 12th in runs scored, 12th in batting average, 9th in home runs, and they try to make up for it by stealing bases. They're first with 124 stolen bases. Well, here's Longoria. He's a DH, batting third. There's a strike.
Well, this is the guy, Longoria, since he's come back off the DL. The numbers are pretty respectable. And it gives that lineup some credibility in the middle with some power, and all of a sudden the Rays started scoring about 5 runs a game for a 2-week period, and they've cooled off lately. What a big difference he has made in the middle of the lineup.
Popped up. Cano calls off Pierce and makes the play for the second out. 2 down, and that's going to bring up B.J. Upton. Beautiful evening here in the Bronx. First game of this 3-game set. And for the Yankees, it's a 9-game homestand. That one is driven deep to left field, but it's a foul ball. Oh, did he hit that? Sitting there, he did not think he was getting a foul ball. B.J. Upton's been hitting for power, 12 home runs in his last 31 games.
Yeah, he's locked in, but watching CC Sabathia early on in this game, velocity still not very impressive, 91, 92. And a little cut on the fastball, not a true four-seamer.
0-2.
One of the things, Flash, that I did, when I went through that later in my career, and you notice that your arm strength's starting to, fall a little bit, or you're a tick slow on your fastball, you got to really concentrate on hitting your spots. And the mistake that's made is you try to reach back and throw harder, because you see the radar gun readings. You turn around, you see it on the board. You got to back off of that feeling and just hit that glove.
Popped up behind the plate. Russell Martin can't make the play, just into the seats. I think it hit one of the guide wires, or he might have had a chance to lean in.
Well, his reaction's going to tell you everything. Russell Martin, he was right there ready to make a play, and it looked like it hit one of those cables. Bad break.
And that gives Upton another swing. The 0-2. 1-2.
David, I was just going to ask you, when the velocity drops a little bit, do you go to your off-speed pitches a little bit more, maybe to make that fastball look a little bit better? And CC tried to drop a slider there a little bit low.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. You try to get your secondary pitches going a little earlier in the game, and you try to fight that feeling of trying to reach back and get that extra velocity, and just try to really concentrate on spotting that fastball. 91 can work. 91, 92 could be fine, but you've got to really make sure that you locate it well.
One, 2. 91 again, 2-2. Now the Yankees are convinced that CC is okay health-wise, and Joe Girardi said it could just be a product of all the innings that he's thrown in his career. He said sometimes you lose a little velocity. Just underway here at the stadium. So happy you could join us on this Friday evening. A weekend of baseball in New York City. Swing and a miss. It gets away from Martin. He scrambles after it. Upton hustling to first, and he makes it. And moving to third is Zobrist. So a bad break for CC.
Well, a lot happening on this play. Good pitch by CC Sabathia to get the strikeout. We'll take a look at Russell Martin behind the plate. A slider, middle down, and he just clanks it. Upton gets a little bit late of a start out of the box. A strong throw from Russell Martin. It's a bang-bang play. Gary Darling, the first base umpire. Looked like he was out. And then good base running by Zobrist. Goes all the way to third. Never stopped. Another look on Yesmo.
Yeah, he's out. Darling's had 3 tough calls at first base at the top of the first inning. He's gotten 2 of them right. Pitch to Keppinger is a strike. Jeff has really had a good season for the Rays. 329, 6 homers, and 32 ribbies. So now the Rays will try to take advantage of that mistake. Nice block there by Martin.
Well, a nice play by Russell Martin. He's going to be tested in this situation here with the slider in the dirt. Does a great job of angling his body, his right shoulder, and keeping it in front. Also a possibility of a double steal here. Upton at first base, Zobrist at third. They both have speed. Russell Martin has a lot going on in his mind right now. A good hitter up there in Keppinger.
One and two.
Usually when you have a good hitter up there, you see the double steal when he gets behind in the count. 1-2 right now. Chance for Joe Madden maybe to play a little raised baseball, try to steal a run here in the first inning.
And you're keeping score at home. Upton reaches on the strikeout and the pass ball. He scored a pass ball, which is correct. You hit him in the glove. Crowd looking for a strikeout. 1-2 on Keppinger. Upton leads off first. Zobrist off third. 2-2. So if anything, they're making Sabathia work here in the first inning. 23 pitches so far.
I think we've probably seen one changeup this inning. You know, that's going to be a big pitch for Sabathia, especially against a couple of righties that give him trouble. Keppinger with good numbers and Longoria. See if he can go to that changeup down and away that's so effective for him. Martin wants the fastball in.
2-2. Got that one up to 93. It's fastest pitch of the night. The count now 3-2.
We kind of need that third complement, Sabathia, because his slider breaks into righties and he's pounding them in with that fastball. The complement to that is that changeup down and away. Soft down and away after all these hard pitches in.
Saw Ben Francisco on deck. Keppinger at the plate. Runner will be going. Pierce playing behind him. And the 3-2. Grounded to short. Nunez fields. He'll throw to first. And the Yankees get out of it. No runs ahead, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Rays nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Starting lineup presented by Lexus. The captain, the DH, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Alex Rodriguez at third base will hit third. Cleaning up, second baseman Robinson Cano. The number 5 hitter is the catcher, Russell Martin. Andrew Jones in left field will bat 6th. The number 7 hitter, center fielder Curtis Granderson. Steve Pierce at first base bats 8th. And batting 9th and playing shortstop for the second straight night, Eduardo Nunez.
Going to look at another power lefty, David Price, having a terrific year. He has 28 starts, 17-5, great ERA. It's tough to hit, and got some strikeouts to go with it as well. Take a look at the scouting report, best of the best. I mean, he's a Cy Young Award candidate right now, front runner. His 17 wins and 2.54 ERA are a huge reason why the Rays staff ranks first in ERA, WHIP, and batting average against. He comes out firing, too. In the first inning, he's got a 1.0 ERA, which is the lowest in the majors. He's not allowed a first inning hit or a run in his last 7 starts. And shoulder to load, well, he has had a little discomfort in that shoulder, and he's missed a start. He took a bullpen session on Tuesday, and he's right back in there tonight, but all eyes are going to be on his shoulder as well.
Here's Derek Jeter. Jeter had his historic 3,000th hit, a home run against David Price in this ballpark. Yesterday, an historic hit for Derek. He drove in a run, the Yankees' second run, and it was his 3,283rd hit, tying him with Willie Mays for 10th place on the all-time hits list. And there's a strike by Price. Derek has 195 hits this year, and that leads Major League Baseball. 323 average. And he also was one of the few Yankees who had a very good road trip. 18 for 45 for Derek. And he has a 9-game hitting streak. He's moving up. Next up is Eddie Collins. Look at it this way. Only 9 men in the history of this game have ever had more hits than Derek Jeter. The 0-2. 1-2. After the game, he said, those are the sort of things that you think about after the season. Now, I'm just happy we have a win tonight. And that's really the way he's played his career. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Jeter down on strikes.
Well, just like CC Sabathia, we're going to be looking at velocity. 96 with the fastball. And you know the shoulder must have been a legitimate concern because we're in the middle of September and he skipped the start. I mean, in a playoff run, a #1 guy like Price, he's taking the ball. So the Rays gave him an extra time through, and he looks pretty good early on.
Pitching coach Jim Hickey will watch him closely. And here's Nick Swisher. There's a strike. Another 96.
With a little grunt behind that one. Almost Nolan Ryan-like. Nolan Ryan had the best grunt I've ever heard, Flash. And then later in his career, he'd come up with a grunt changeup where he'd grunt louder and then, you know, throw the changeup. But David Price exerting everything he's got.
Well, listen, what this time of year is all about. I mean, for a guy like Price, and even not a #1 type guy, but he goes out there knowing his team got swept in Baltimore and knowing they have to win this game tonight with him out on the mound. He's going to let it all hang out.
He didn't grunt on that pitch, and that was 89 miles an hour. So maybe that's how he tips his pitches.
There's a tip right there. The slider, no grunt on the slider.
And he grunted again, 96. Now they've outlawed that in women's tennis. You can actually get a penalty for grunting too loud. That's a fastball grunt.
You know what, I can guarantee you as a hitter, you cannot pick up the grunt before 96 gets on your hands.
He grunted there on a slider, so no more tip.
It's been fun watching him evolve as a big-time pitcher. He came up as a thrower with an overpowering fastball. That shows you right there. A 3-2 count. He goes off speed, even though he's throwing 96 miles an hour. Kind of figured it out at the big league level. Had a pitch with great stuff.
And he walks Nick Swisher. Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 74 degrees here at the stadium, 63% humidity. The wind is 10 miles per hour, and it's partly cloudy. That's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. $11 for 40 since he came back off the DL. Fouled away. That one got up to 97.
Some good at-bats last night for Alex. Couple of base hits right back up the middle in Boston against the lefty DeBrant. You start to get the feeling against left-handed pitching. Alex got to pick it up a little bit in the middle of the order.
Count 1-1.
David, is it safe to say the shoulder's not a problem after what we're watching?
He's not holding back.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, if you're in the Rays dugout, you got to like what you see so far.
Count 2-1.
Now, could that throw you off your game a little bit? I know you got a little discomfort in the shoulder. You skip a turn through the rotation. Can you be too strong coming out there the next time? Feel too good?
Yeah, yes, you can. But if your mechanics are solid, you can deal with that. You know, if you're confident in your delivery, and Price obviously a smart guy too. Now, a lot of times when I hear that, you know, I was too strong, I was a little off. It was a little bit of a cop out for me because you know, I think if your mechanics are good and you keep yourself under control, and you've got some strength and some life back in your arm after missing some time, that should work to your benefit. Sometimes it doesn't, but if you're solid like Price is with his mechanics, he should be fine.
Given out to right field. That ball is a foul ball.
That's gone in Boston. That's right around the pesky pole in Boston. See, there's the pesky pole in Boston at Fenway. Definitely. Real close. Maybe off the pole. Here at Yankee Stadium, just a foul ball.
Three and two.
Those two guys have done a great job, boy, manager and pitching coach. Definitely an organizational philosophy too. You know, a lot of change-up style pitchers on their staff. Really has worked out well for them. Their pitching staff has carried this team and got them in this position.
And he walks Alex Rodriguez. So first and second with one man out. Let's check out the Rays defense behind Price, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. They haven't done anything yet. A strikeout, 2 walks. It's Jennings, Upton, and Francisco in the outfield. Infield, Keppinger, Zobrist, Johnson, and Pena. Johnson a little shaky at second base. He made a big error in that series against the Yankees in St. Pete. Jimenez behind the plate. Price is on the mound. Rays used to be built on great defense, but their defense has not been top flight this year. Yankees did not hit in these situations in Boston despite winning 2 of 3. They were 2 for 34 with runners in scoring position in that series, and both hits off the bat of Derek Jeter.
And you hear it all the time too. When you face a top-notch #1 type guy, you're only going to get a few opportunities in the game. Robinson 233 with runners in scoring position. A lot better since June 24th.
Just rocketed into the seats on the third base side and then back out onto the field. Amazingly, from what we could tell, no one got hit.
Guys, looking at the numbers, Robinson Cano hitting .221 against lefties this year, and that's almost hard to believe. His whole big league career, lefty righty did not seem to make a difference, but the numbers down against left-handers.
First and second, one out, 1-2 count on Cano on the pitch. Still 1-2. This is the 8th time that Price has matched up with Sabathia head-to-head. They always seem to find each other when these two teams play. And Price has won those battles. He's 4-1 with a 2.31 ERA against CeCe. This could be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. So once again, the Yankees do not get a hit with runners in scoring position. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. We played 1. No score. Ben Francisco will lead it off for the Rays in the second. The stadium, and he can play along with the Toyota text poll. Let's check out what the question is. Which of the teams competing with the Yankees in the American League East has the toughest remaining schedule? Here are your choices. Is it the Orioles or is it the Rays? You can text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply. If you'd like help on the decision, here are the remaining games. The thing that jumps out at you with the Orioles, they're on the West Coast right now. And the A's are very, very tough.
How about the last 3 games of the season right there? Orioles play the Rays. That could be awfully interesting.
And the Mariners playing much better as well as of late.
Now we go to the second inning. Ben Francisco will lead it off. We'll check in and see how he voted a little bit later on the text poll. There's a breaking ball strike. Count 0-2. This is an odd stat, but I guess it's somewhat telling. Since 2008, the Rays, when they face a pitcher who has won a Cy Young Award, they're 37-15. Check swing, he did not go, which tells you they're going to send a good pitcher out who's going to hold you down, and they grind out at bats, I guess.
They grind out at bats, and they've always been able to steal some runs, manufacture runs, steal some bases. They don't have to rely on the home run. Win some games 2-1, 3-2.
1-2 pitch. Count 2-2. Rays this year 9-6 against the Yankees. These will be the final 3 games they play this year in the regular season. The 2-2. 3-2. Chris Jimenez is on deck. Francisco in the box. And the payoff. Shattered bat. Slow ground ball to Cano. And they get Francisco for the first out. The bat head ended up behind Alex Rodriguez. Retrieved by the third base coach Tom Foley.
It's a familiar pattern early in this game. Sabathia and Martin going to just challenge all of these right-handed Rays hitters inside, trying to establish that fastball. And that's the second saw job so far for Sabathia. I mean, completely shattered bats.
Jimenez takes high.
Well, it's no secret when you see CC at his best, he gets a lot of swings and misses at that slider down and in on the righties. But a big reason for that is he makes them think about that fastball in, and clearly trying to establish that early on to make that slider, he calls it a cutter, a little bit more effective than it's been. You know, David, what I thought about when we were talking about decreased velocity was Mike Mussina's last year when he was throwing in the upper 80s, and he said he had to throw inside more at that point in his career than he did when he was a mid-90s pitcher.
Slider strike, 2-1.
That's a great point. Even, you know, Jamie Moyer, or the super finesse guys that had to establish in either with a cutter or just to keep the hitters honest.
Two and two.
Good pitch right there. He's dotted the inside corner. A little better velocity at 93.
Four-seam grip right there. Pretty true. Russell Martin's glove just off. Nice call.
You know, that's what jumped out at me, David. It looked true, like he was behind it and it rode it right through the catcher. Stayed straight.
Swing and a miss. Got him. First strikeout for Sabathia.
Well, this is what will happen after you dot a fastball inside to a righty. You don't even have to throw your best slider. It's not a great one. It's up and in and a weak swing. Because he's thinking about the fastball. He's thinking about 93.
A phone booth swing right there. Trying to swing a baseball bat in a phone booth. And completely fooled.
Here's Carlos Pena. He has 17 home runs, but hitting 192. Weak wave. 0-1. Shaking his hand. One of the few big money players on the Rays. They expanded their budget during the offseason because they thought they needed his bat. Now, he's given them home runs, but not nearly enough to warrant that batting average. And that one is looped out on one hop to Cano. He will get Pena with a full out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the second at the stadium. Russell Martin's going to lead off. It's no score. Running out, 19 games including this one. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. David Price worked a scoreless first inning despite walking 2 Yankees, helped out by a double play ground ball off the bat of Robinson Cano. We go to the bottom of the second, 0-0. Yankees and the Rays. So Russell Martin came alive on the road trip. 10 hits and 27 at bats. He's over the 200 mark. He's at 208. Fouled away. Count 1-1. Line drive, a base hit to left. And the Yankees are off and running. Go yap about tonight's game on Sports Yapper, free on all iPhones and Androids.
I'll tell you what, you know when you're feeling good as a hitter, when you can take care of the fastball inside and just use your hands and be able to pull the baseball. This is 96, and it's not in, it's maybe middle in. And Russell Martin able to beat him there. That's a pitch early on he was having a tough time with. On Yesmo, you get a great look at his extension.
So Martin's at first. And that's going to bring up Andrew Jones. Jones 6 for 31 against Price, but 2 home runs. Price against the Yankees lifetime 6-3 with a 3.85. This year 2-1, 3.20. Strangely, this is his 28th start of the year, and 16 of them have been on the road. And he just pitches great on the road. 10-3. 3.36 ERA on the road. So the ERA is a bit higher, but got 10 of his 17 wins.
Check out Jimenez throwing the ball back. He just yanks it right down into the grass. I'll tell you what, being a catcher behind the plate, if I would have done that, you start thinking about every throw the rest of the game.
I haven't seen that since Mackie Sasser was catching me with the Mets.
Routine throw back to the pitcher, not too routine. Oh.
Pine tar, maybe a little too much pine tar on the fingers.
You know what? I love his reaction right there. He doesn't even act like anything happened. He's thinking there's 45, 46,000 people here. Maybe nobody saw that. I have been there and I have done that.
It seems like the extra rest on Price has cost him some command because he's not throwing that many strikes.
Pitch count getting up there too. 31 pitches here.
17 strikes, 14 balls. You don't want it to be 1-1, that's for sure. And it's close to that. 3-1. There's a strike.
Well, if you're Andrew Jones, you just got a 3-1 fastball. You're probably thinking you're getting another one, 3-2. We saw from Price in the first inning, not afraid to go off speed in this count.
Tap slowly. second base side. And they get Andrew Jones as Martin moves to second. Nice play by Elliott Johnson on the charge.
He does. He just challenges Andrew Jones, who's a really good fastball hitter, but he gets it in a good spot down and away.
So now Price against Granderson.
Now, when Price is right, he's
saw what you did there.
He's the type of guy who has the best low four-seam fastball. He really drives his four-seamer downhill better than anybody in the game.
There's a strike.
So, you know, he really can feature some cheese at the knees. You know, 97 miles an hour, four-seam gas, low. Very hard to do. You got to hold onto the ball longer. Your mechanics have to be just right. You're really going to drive that ball downhill. And
high pop-up, left side of the infield. And Zobrist makes the play. So Martin stays at second.
take a look at these mechanics. A little tilt in his shoulder and then driving and middle away. Granderson just kind of pulls off of that a little bit, kind of beat by that fastball, more by the velocity than the location.
Here's Steve Pearce. And there's a base hit to right center field. Martin rounds third. He will score. It's an RBI single for Pearce. And the Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, Pearce getting some opportunities against lefties. He does not waste any time. First pitch swinging, a fastball out over the plate, kind of off the end of the bat. A two-out base hit and RBI gives the Yankees a lead. Opportunity in the first, they didn't cash in, but Pearce gets his opportunity here in the second. It's the Yankees on the scoreboard.
What a year it's been for Steve Pearce, from the minor leagues to bouncing around to the Orioles, let go by the Yankees, and now back with the Yankees here in a pennant race in the last stretch of the schedule.
Find himself in there getting opportunities with Mark Teixeira out for a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're playing against lefties. Contributing right there, a big two-out knock.
(2-0). Eduardo Nunez got the start yesterday. He really hasn't played much since being called up. Occasional pinch running appearance, but with Derek's ankle barking, they had him as the DH and Nunez at short. Same deal today. And Nunez picked up 2 hits in yesterday's game, made a couple of nice plays in the field.
Yeah, that was a big part for me. The plays in the field, first ground ball of the game, he fielded it, threw it across the diamond, no problem.
Of course, his base running when he does get on the bases, that element of speed that the Yankees have lacked this year because of Brett Gardner's absence.
Isn't it amazing, though? You play shortstop, you make a couple plays, get a couple of hits. Now everybody's saying, well, we got to see more of this guy. His speed, his swing.
Ground ball to third. Keppinger goes to second to get the force. And that'll hit. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits. The single by Steve Pearce drives home Russell Martin. the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. The first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Yankee Snoopy bobblehead doll, courtesy of MetLife. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Elliott Johnson against Sabathia. Yankees with a 1-0 lead on the Pierce RBI single. And on the Lincoln scoreboard, it's 1-2-0, leading 0-1-0. And CC deals a strike to Johnson, the number 9 batter in the lineup. Oh, 2.
Well, it's been a problem for CC lately, giving up some leads that he has been handed. I know it's only 1 run here, but against the Rays lineup, we'll see if he can have a shutdown inning here in the 3rd. Off to a good start, quickly ahead, 0-2.
Struck him out. That's what John was talking about. Surrendered 5 leads over his last 4 starts. And he has relinquished at least 1 lead in each game. Now we saw that in the last start for Hiroki Kuroda as well. He relinquished 2 leads against the Red Sox. Ground ball in the hole, backhanded by Nunez. Sets, fires. Good play by Nunez to get the speedy Desmond Jennings.
Well, every time a ground ball is hit to Eduardo Nunez, you're going to pay attention to see how the throws are. This is a dart across the diamond. When it left his hand, I thought this ball was going to be low and had plenty of carry on it. 2 nights in a row, Eduardo Nunez looking very comfortable, very sure-handed, and very accurate with his throws.
And a strike to Zopus.
One of our old buddies, Michael Jerry Coleman, getting a statue at Petco Park to honor him. Former Yankee ball player, longtime broadcaster. A great honor for him. What a great guy, too.
We saw action in 2 wars.
2 wars, absolutely. His teammate of Joe DiMaggio. Congratulations, Jerry Coleman, the Colonel, getting his own statue in San Diego outside the ballpark.
Ground ball in the hole, backhanded by Nunez. Sets and fires. He's just showing off. Eduardo Nunez with 2 really nice plays to complete a 1-2-3 inning. The backhand, the set, the gun. The end of the inning. CC Sabathia can do nothing but applaud. Let's take a look at some of the AL Cy Young candidates. Oh, we did it up for you. Jared Weaver, David Price, Chris Sale, Felix Hernandez, Justin Verlander. Let's see what they've done. All very good records, great numbers, and Price has the lowest ERA, and he's tied with Weaver for the most wins.
Didn't Weaver miss a bunch of time out there too? 17 wins.
He did. He had a little back injury. He was on a DL at one point. Now, I look at the White Sox, the way they've handled their young pitcher, Chris Sale. I think that's the blueprint. You know, they've skipped a start. They pitched him once a week, and they've really protected him without shutting him down. And they still have been able to retain him the entire year.
Derek Jeter grounds one to short. Zobrist, one away.
I really think Cooper, too, the pitching coach with the White Sox, one of the best in the game, without a doubt. New York guy. You know, he talked about it. He said these college kids, they pitch once every Friday. It's like Friday night. You know, in Japan, they called it Sunday Nomo, where, you know, Hideo Nomo would pitch once a week. And I think that really is the way you handle the young pitchers now. You can protect them, give them extra rest, and skip a start. And I think Chicago's done a great job with Chris Sale.
So the Lincoln scoreboard, Yankees leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Nick Swisher, who walked in the first, is up at the plate. Nick has not had a good month, 7 for 49, but a couple of games with multiple hits in the Boston series. Highest or best earned runs in the American League. Those are the 5 candidates. Now 3-0. There's a strike. Popped up, shallow right center. Elliott Johnson will make the play. 2 outs.
Well, when you throw as hard as Price does, you can just attack 3-0, 3-1 right down the middle to Nick Swisher. And the numbers you mentioned, Michael, scuffling a little bit lately. But a good pitch to hit, just worked underneath it a little bit.
Here's A-Rod. He walked in the first inning. Just missed that one. Fouled it straight back. And a strike. Count 1-2. Yankees tied with the Orioles atop the American League East, and the Orioles are in Oakland tonight. Joe Saunders against Tommy Malone. It's a 10:05 start. Swing and a miss. Got him off speed. And a 1-2-3 inning for David Price. Well, the first 3 innings certainly living up to advance notice. It's a pitcher's duel, but the Yankees are leading it 1-0 here on Yes. Smokers Quit Line quiz. He'll find out about it later. Since 1980, the Yankees have had 6 different players reach 200 or more hits in a season. We want you to name those 6. This is not an easy Friday night. The mayor gives his wife a kiss. Rudy and Judith here at the game. And the head of the Yes Network, Tracy Dalton, is here and gets covered by a right shoulder as Evan Longoria steps in. And there's a strike. It's always good to see Tracy here because usually what he does is he'll go into the Legends restaurant and bring candy up for us. Just a nice thing for a CEO to do. We'll see if he does it today. The 1-1. Has to skip rope, but he doesn't get out of the way as Longoria gets hit. So he'll take first.
Well, you don't like to see this, obviously hitting somebody, CC Sabathia with the slider, but not a bad sign. Finally getting it down and in to the right-handers. Top of the foot. I mean, early on in this game, a lot of spinning sliders middle of the plate, finally getting it inside. Unfortunately, he gets a piece of Longoria.
Upton fouls it off. Upton reached in the first inning, struck out, but the ball got by Martin for a pass ball.
Love seeing some of these adjustments second time through the order. Upton looking for a fastball in. He gets one away and misses it by a good foot. CC Sabathia is starting to use the whole plate after establishing inside first time around.
Popped up, shallow center. Cano will make the play for the first out. Jeff Keppinger grounded to short. That was in the first inning. Strike to Keppinger. Keppinger just 23 strikeouts and 349 plate appearances this year, and it makes him the hardest player to strike out in the American League this season. Whoops that one into center field. On the grass is Cano to make the play for the second out. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Ben Francisco.
See, normally CC Sabathia, you know what, will feature sort of a slide step to home to control the running game. But with Longoria on first, he doesn't have to worry. He can take his big leg kick and just worry about the execution of the pitch.
Fouled away.
Well, Longoria, obviously, with that hamstring issue that kept him on the DL so long this year, and I think there's no question. I don't think you have to worry about him trying to steal a bag at this point.
Yeah, he has 2 stolen bases, been thrown out 3 times. I'm sure those attempts happened before the hamstring injury. Joe Madden, manager of the Rays, is trying to keep him in the lineup, keep him healthy. Tell you what, David, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sabathia now. Both sides of the plate, sliders gotten a little bit better. A little shaky early, but the 4th inning starting to come together.
A pretty good strategy. Established inside early and now starting to go back away. Second time through the order.
One, two.
We saw it with Phil Hughes last night. You know, and sometimes you look at who you're facing. David Price on the other side. You see one run on the board, middle of the game. You start thinking, you know what? I got to make this stand. You know, you're in a pennant race. Phil Hughes did it last night. Sabathia thinking the same thing.
1-2.
We talk about winning one-run games, you know, and sometimes if it's 1-0, it's got to be 1-0. Sometimes 2-1, that's good too. But whatever it takes, that's the difference in the matchup of two-star pitchers. Phil Hughes took a big step last night. Michael mentioned it on that road trip. Phil Hughes had 2 wins out of the 5 that the Yankees had on that long road trip. Now it's Sabathia's turn to follow suit and shut down this Rays offense.
Missed with a breaking ball.
You know, Russell Martin having a little conversation with the home plate umpire Scott Barry. Take a look from the overhead. Ooh, maybe clip that front corner.
Line drive, foul. Nice catch. Not even a smile, impressive. A little cut on it, stayed with it. Chris Jimenez on deck. Runner will go with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. So Longoria will be on his way. Pierce will play behind him. This will be the 61st pitch for Sabathia. Right back to CeCe for the final out. A hint of a smile. So Francisco hit it hard, but Sabathia made the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Quick reaction. Look out. State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Since 1980, the Yankees have had 6 different players reach 200 hits in a season. Who are those players? Let's see. Cano, Jeter, Soriano, Bernie Williams, who celebrated his 44th birthday yesterday, Don Mattingly, and Steve Sachs. So those are the 6. All right, back to watching the game and turning away from Julianne Moore. Robinson Cano will lead off. And there's a strike. 0-1. Cano, Martin, and Jones. Drilled to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. Foul ball.
Got him out in front just a little bit. You can see he's reaching on the Price slider. A little bit off speed. The speed got him just a little bit out in front. Robinson Cano with his sort of body language, Carlton Fisk-esque, wishing it to go fair.
A great reaction from Price, too. I mean, we saw Robinson Cano's reaction. Watch Price here. He made a mistake. Got away with it.
Another foul ball. Not as close.
You know, they talk about a major league at bat. If you get one pitch to hit during that at bat, you better take care of it, because you're probably not going to get another one. Well, Robinson Cano just got 2 mistakes in a row, and he was a little quick on both of them. Now, on an 0-2 count, you got to believe David Price is going to make sure this will not be anywhere near the strike zone.
Shattered bat. Out to Jennings for the first out.
That's a different mentality today. He came right at him with a fastball after 2 sliders.
And grunted a little louder, too. He's trying to go away. It ends up in, but it's 97 miles an hour, and it's a buzzsaw. A little louder on that grunt.
Martin with a bunt. Bunt foul. Hey, somebody in the league office might have a little bit of a sense of humor, because looking at the umpire alignment, at third base is Jerry Meals, and he's the umpire who blew the call at the end of the Oriole game. And this is the Yankees' first game back, and there's Jerry at third base, and showing some faith in him, putting on a big game like this. This is a high-profile, high-leverage game in baseball tonight. No one with the Yankees was that amused by that call. Foul back, 0-2. And that ended up, the call didn't, but the play ended up re-injuring Mark Teixeira. Out anywhere from 10 to 14 more days, and here's that play. And you can see his hands on the bag before the ball goes into Mark Reynolds' glove. That was the last play of the game. Swing and a miss as Martin down on strikes.
Coming into this ball game with CC Sabathia struggling a little bit lately, Price missing a start. Didn't really know what to expect. Both guys struggled a little bit early, but they're starting to find it now. Price, a good slider down middle. Velocity is there. Location has gotten better. CC Sabathia the same thing. They're starting to lock it in here, 3rd and 4th inning.
There's a strike to Andrew Jones. The Rays shift for Jones with Keppinger really deep and close to the line at third. Second baseman shades up the middle, and Zobrist shades in the hole.
Well, Michael, talking about that shift, we've seen Joe Madden through the years do some very exaggerated shifts. Tonight, it's pretty much playing him straight up for him. You see Johnson shaded right behind second base, close to right behind second base. That's pretty much straight up for Joe Madden's defense. Loves to put the exaggerated shifts on. Not as much tonight with Price on the mound.
Popped up. Elliott Johnson's there. And Price has retired 7 in a row. We're going to the 5th inning. Jimenez will lead off. Here for Bob a little bit later on. The starting pitcher matchup. David Price against CC Sabathia. David Price, 4 innings, 2 hits, a run. CC, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Price has walked 2, struck out 3. CC has not walked a batter, and he struck out 3. Cadillac scoreboard, 1-0 Yankees as we head to the 5th. Jimenez leads off. 0-1. Grounded foul outside of third. Another nice play on the count. Count 2-2.
Well, CC trying to go with that changeup. Down and away, and you watch Jimenez stand in that box. He's way off the plate now. He's got a few fastballs inside, a few sliders inside. Yankees going away.
Count 3-2.
It's all starting to come together, though. 95 miles an hour. Now we're starting to see the CC Sabathia that we're used to seeing. Velocity getting a little bit better, using all of his pitches, both sides of the plate.
out into left center field. Long run for Granderson. He will not get there. It's one hop up against the wall as Jimenez will start with a double.
Well, a good start here for the 5th inning for the Rays. Mentioned he was way off the plate looking for something inside. Well, he finally got it on a 3-2 fastball. A few pitches away, missed. They tried to come back inside, and he beat him to the spot. A leadoff double here in the 5th inning for the Rays. Way off the plate. Gives them a little bit more room for extension.
So now the tying runs at second base, and here is Carlos Pena. Strange decision by Madden to start Pena against CeCe. I know he had that big grand slam against him in the opener, but he has 6 hits in his last 131 at-bats against left-handers.
Here his job is a little bit easier, just trying to hook something, hit a ground ball to the right side, advance the runner. And that's not his forte. He's known more as a power guy, hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Sabathia trying to keep the ball away, 1-1.
Yeah, I think you're right, Michael. I mean, it was the first inning of the first game of the year that Carlos Pena hit a grand slam off of CeCe Sabathia. And certainly that's in the back of your mind, and also that short porch here at Yankee Stadium. So Joe Madden coming up the sweep, got an offense struggling to score runs. Maybe one swing of the bat can make the difference for Pena tonight.
1-2.
Good looking slider, as you see Pena way out in front. And if you remember, as we mentioned, that first inning opener grand slam that he hit came on a 3-2 fastball.
And that gets away from Russell Martin. So that gets the runner over to third. A wild pitch.
Well, that is a huge break right there for the Rays. And Russell Martin's so good at blocking balls in the dirt. He wants it down. He gets a slider down and just doesn't do a great job getting his chest out there to block it. Ricochets off his body. Runner advances, and a big break for the Rays.
Infield is back. They'll give up the run on a ground ball. Just missed outside.
It's been slider after slider after slider, and this might have been the best one. Just misses down and away. Pena doesn't offer. The pitcher you want the call, catcher wants the call, but Pena gets it.
And the pitch. Grounded foul.
A lot of different thoughts will start going through your head if you're a pitcher catcher here. You've thrown all sliders the whole at bat. And you know if you make a good one, you're probably going to get a strikeout, but you got to be thinking you might be able to sneak a fastball by him, David. But you remember that first at bat, like you said early on this year, it was a 3-2 fastball.
Yeah, and the problem is you know that Pena's got a decent eye too, so you got to kind of throw it for a strike.
Missed outside, so Pena walks, and there'll be runners on the corners and nobody out. Let's go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz has another update. Bob. Thank you, Bob. They lost a tough one yesterday. They jumped out to an early lead, and they lost that one. Phillies have to keep winning to complete this comeback. Here's Elliott Johnson. He squares the bunt and bunts behind the plate. 0-1. So that was a safety squeeze because the runner from third was not breaking.
I'll tell you what, he squared to bunt awfully early. It was like your standard sacrifice bunt situation here. Tips his hand very early, maybe thinking they're just going to sacrifice a runner to second base and take their chances with the top of the lineup.
Base hit to right field. Jimenez will score. Pena moves to second. An RBI single for Johnson. And we're tied at 1.
Joe Maddon's got to be loving this. The bottom of his order comes through a leadoff double. Advance on a wild pitch, a walk, and then your number 9 hitter who squared to bunt. First pitch of the at-bat gets a fastball right after it and drives it the other way. At times pitcher catcher sees a hitter square to bunt on the first pitch. You lay a fastball in there on the second, think he's going to lay down a bunt again, and he hammers it to right field.
Now you have to stop it right here at 1-1. First and second, nobody out. Here is Desmond Jennings. Yankees expecting a bunt, and he shows bunt but takes low 1-0. Ray's third hit of the game. Elliott Johnson's 33rd run batted in of the season. The 1-0. Not bunting. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Pena will round third. He's coming home to score. He makes it. The ball is cut off by Pierce. It's an RBI single for Jennings, and it's 2-1 Tampa Bay.
Well, Joe Maddon does it again. Elliott Johnson squares the bunt. The second pitch, he takes it back and he swings away. Jennings does the same thing. They both got fastballs just out of the reach of CC Sabathia. Bounces right back up the middle. Pena's going to score, and again CC Sabathia gives up a lead. And having a lot of trouble in that department recently.
Well, Larry Rothschild will go out and talk with Sabathia, try to settle him down. You have a dangerous trio coming up. Zobrist, Longoria, and Upton with runners on first and second, nobody out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Now, if that's not a sign of how big these games are, that you're getting your bullpen ready when your ace is on the mound, it's only the 5th inning, you're up down 2-1, that tells you all you need to know. Cody Epley now up. A bunt and a bunt foul. We'll try it again, I guess.
Can we do it 3 at-batters in a row here? First pitch, bunting, and then you take it back, and Joe Maddon lets his hitter swing away. It's worked twice. If nothing else, you've got the Yankees thinking about that possibility now.
A-Rod is in at third. He's still expecting the bunt, and he's coming in. And it's bunted toward third, but he kicks foul. So try not to get in any patterns. That time he has a bunt for second time. And an 0-2 count.
Zobrist, all you've got to do is just get the bunt down to the third baseman. A little too fine with this, because if A-Rod fields it, job done. Nobody's at third. First base runner's got an easy jump, so trying to be a little too fine. You don't have to be perfect. You can see the angle of the bat, almost like you're bunting for a hit. All you got to do, you got plenty of margin for error there. Just bunt the ball to the third baseman, and the job's done.
A-Rod backs up at third now with the 2 strikes. Nunez checking the runner back at second. Pitch is high, 94 miles an hour from Sabathia. '81 pitches for the Yankee ace. He's had some high number of innings, 25 in the first. He's 20 right now. The third keeps him down with only a 7-pitch inning. So once again, although it was a small lead, Sabathia has again given up a lead. And that's been a bugaboo this year, especially of late. He's played by Tom Foley. And he gives it to the young lady. Made a fan for life. The 1-2. It gets by Russell Martin, and the runners will move up. Let's see what happened on that one.
This has not been Russell Martin's best inning behind the plate here. Slider down. He just does not get his glove down. It's the first thing they teach you when you're blocking baseballs. Get the glove in the dirt and your body will follow. He gets caught right here with that glove a little bit high. Now all of a sudden, second and third, nobody out.
Proverbial 55-foot slider. And that ball was well out in front of home plate when it bounced.
So now 3-2. First base is open. Infield is back, except for Pierce at first. You've got Longoria on deck. David Price getting some run support. And the pitch. Fouled away.
I mean, this happened quick, too. I mean, CC Sabathia in the third looked great, looked even better in the fourth. In the beginning of the fifth, everything was good. Made a bad pitch, leadoff double, and the rest of the inning has been pretty shaky.
Sort of the inability to put away hitters. You know, when he did get ahead, he was ahead of Jimenez and Pena both. Just couldn't find a way to make a pitch to put him away.
And he walks Zobrist to load the bases for Longoria. Boy, this is a very tough call for Girardi right now. You have the bullpen up. This guy's your ace. Now in July, you lose the battle to win the war, but right now you're in the middle of the end of the war, and you've got to win these games. And you can't try to work somebody through problems, but he's going to stick with Sabathia, thinking he's a better chance to get Longoria than Epley. Swing and a miss. At third base, Elliott Johnson. Jennings at second, Zobrist at first. Still nobody out here in the fifth. 2 runs in. Good changeup right there, and the count 0-2. Longoria with the bases loaded. 268 here with 2 grand slams.
Yeah, he's got good numbers against CC coming into this game. Also about 375 with 5 home runs. CC and the count right here 0-2. You need to pick up a strikeout. You got a few pitches to do it with here.
Grounded to third. Steps on third. Goes to first. It's a double play. Johnson scores. It's 3-1 Rays, but the Yankees pick up 2 outs with 1 swing. No RBI for Longoria, but a run for the Rays.
Well, it's decision time for Alex. You got to read the speed of the ball. Do you go home right away? No, you take a quick peek, you step on the bag and take 2 outs. I mean, this is just pure instinct. You've got a split second to make a decision if you're Alex. Do you cut down the run at home, or moving towards third, step and throw and take 2 outs. That's a decision-making time, tough one. If I'm on the mound, Flash, I'm thinking my first instinct is cut him down at home. Give me another chance to get another strikeout.
That one is lined into right field. Swisher is there, and that'll do it. But a damaging inning against CeCe. 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left. We're halfway through. Rays up by 2. New York Yankees. Well, there's your top of the 5th inning in slow motion, but it happened pretty quickly as the Yankees gave up a 1-0 lead. It's now a 3-1 deficit as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order against David Price. Cadillac scoreboard, 3-1 Tampa Bay leads. Strange game, John, because if you watch the 1st inning, Sabathia didn't look like he had great stuff, but got through it without allowing a run. And then in the 4th inning, it looked like he had his best stuff and was throwing hard, and he started giving up runs in the 5th.
I think he's going to be really kicking himself about that pitch to Jimenez, the catcher. I mean, he had him 2 strikes, a couple of pitches away. He missed, came back with a fastball inside, and he led off the inning with a double. And then everything kind of fell apart from there. And sometimes there's one pitch or one at bat that you say, you know what, I had him right where I wanted him. I couldn't finish him. And it cost me 3 runs, and really the bottom of the order for the Rays. You got to give them some credit. Got the job done. Now on the flip side, if you're David Price right here and the Tampa Bay Rays got you 3 runs against Sabathia, you have to be thinking, this is my game. This is all I'm getting, and I have to make it work. We'll go back to this pitch leading off the 5th inning. Jimenez behind the plate. He goes inside, or tries to, after a few pitches away, and he misses. The catcher for the Rays makes him pay. A very productive inning after that.
High drive, right center off the bat of Granderson. Going back up in track. Wall leaps. See ya. Home run, Curtis Granderson. And the Yankees get 1 back. Just over the leaping try of Upton. And Granderson connects for his 38th home run of the year.
Well, Curtis Granderson starting to heat up again. Had some home runs in Boston. And a fastball up, out over the plate. Not an easy pitch to get on top of and pull to the gap in right center. Upton cruising underneath it. Right off the top of the wall and just out of his reach. Would have been a highlight play for Upton in center field on Yes Mo. You get a chance to see it right off the top of the wall.
A little late. He's got the ups to get that. Just a little late getting there.
.38 home runs closing in on Josh Hamilton, the major league leader.
Number 14 off of left-handed pitching this year, too, from Granderson.
'90th ribby for Granderson. And now it's 3-2. The 1-1 to Pierce. 2-1.
There's a nice answer right there by the Yankees and Granderson after 3 runs in the top of the 5th. First batter hits a solo shot. This lets David Price know we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be here.
Grounded to third. Oh, nice play by Keppinger. He took a double away from Pierce for the first out. Hot shot right down the line.
See, you know, that's, if you could swing the bat a little bit, even though you bounced around the minor leagues, you know, Steve Pierce could swing the bat a little bit. That's why he's in this lineup. Got to hit his last time up and a good swing on a 3-1 fastball there. Keppinger playing deep with the high hop and backhand.
Eduardo Nunez takes a strike. Hits Jerry Meals and caroms right out to the shortstop Zobrist, and Nunez is at first. That would have been a double.
Michael, we'll let you take this replay. Go ahead.
No, you guys handle it.
Unbelievable. You're thinking too, he's umpiring third base, right? He's not going to be a factor in any play. At the top of your screen, Jerry Meals gets hit with a rocket off the bat of Nunez.
I'll give him credit. He's not going to rub this at all, and that's right off the kneecap. Makes the call. It's hooking. That's an ugly finder right there. I mean, there's nothing you can do. It's coming right after him. You know that's hurting right now. He didn't rub it, nothing, no limp. Stone-faced.
And all joking aside, Al is right. Out for the Yankees because the runner would have been in scoring position rather than at first base, so that could loom large.
Once again, Nunez getting an opportunity. Looks good in the field, swinging the bat, and now his speed is going to play on the bases.
Good swings off of Price this inning, though, by every hitter so far.
It's got to be satisfying for Nunez to come back and actually contribute. Waited a while, patiently get back in the lineup since the rosters were expanded. Some pinch running, but yesterday, 2 nice plays in the field, 2 hits. Today, 2 nice plays in the field and a hit. Making his case for more playing time, and the Yankees have been missing speed at the bottom of the order all year. After losing Brett Gardner, he could be that guy. There's a strike. He bluffed. Count on 1.
Well, it's sort of twofold here. You see Nunez itching, good fake. But if you're David Price, just the distraction of Nunez over here might just affect a pitch to Jeter that will help your hitter as well. It's hard not to look at this matchup and not think about the 3,000 hit that Jeter got off of Price. The booming home run for number 3,000 that forever links these two guys, the pitcher and hitter, in history. But that's the guy providing the distraction right now, whether he goes or not.
I guess that's the one downside for Price. He does not have a great move for a left-hander.
Count 1-1.
Case in point right there. He tries to quick pitch and misses up with his fastball. That's a direct result of Nunez already changing his delivery. As Flash said, Price's best defense against the running game is a slide step to home, not the pickoff move to first.
Jimenez will go out and talk with David Price.
See, and the catcher sort of maybe thinking about, what do I need to call here, because this guy might steal. So Flash, you're back behind home plate. You're seeing this. I'm on the mound. I'm distracted. What are you calling here?
Your focus should be on Derek Jeter, but your focus has now changed. It's on what pitch maybe can I throw out Nunez. We want to make sure he doesn't get a good jump. And the guy who's loving all this is number 2, the captain, standing in the box saying, I'm going to get a mistake possibly at some point.
Nunez, you got to get a big lead, because that last pickoff move right there, Price doesn't have much better than that. He might have a little better move, but there's no threat to get picked off here. You got to really stretch that lead and challenge Price, and you see that's the pickoff move, and that's what he's giving him.
It's not a good one.
So Nunez easily back. You got to really push that lead and provide more of a distraction. David Martinez calling the signs from the bench. Jimenez relays the signs.
I'm sure Joe Girardi loving this. He hasn't had this luxury all year of speed and the distraction. Nice element to his lineup.
One and two.
Also, if you're Nunez on first and Flash, if you're behind the plate, you got to cover your signs, because he just gave down a 2 for a curveball on that last pitch. Veteran base runners will be able to keyhole those signs. So I'm not sure if Nunez is to that point in his career, but he should be. He should be peeking at these signs. You see Jimenez close those legs and try to hide it. But if you see anything other than a number 1, that's a good pitch to pick to run.
That time he fakes back and Nunez dives back.
Do something different with your legs, Flash, in this situation? Try to hide the signs?
Yeah, you try to angle your body towards the shortstop, so you're closing off with your right leg. Angle that leg right there towards shortstop. Looks like he's still a little wide open there.
Ground ball second, knocked down by Elliott Johnson. And Jeter will reach. And they give him a base hit, and with that base hit, he puts the great Willie Mays in his rearview mirror. He now stands alone in 10th place on the Major League all-time hits list. Hit number 3,284. That is quite a name to pass. Our Jack Curry got a hold of Willie Mays today, and this is what Willie Mays said about Derek. When you have a record or whatever it may be, there's always someone that's going to pass you, and you can't find a better kid like that to pass you and enjoy what he's doing. I like Jeter because of this. He plays for the Yankees. He plays for the joy of the game. He plays for the team. And the crowd here at the stadium with a standing O for Derek.
A little bit ironic that it's David Price again.
I was just thinking that.
Number 3,000 and now number 10 on the all-time list.
Nick Swisher with a fly ball to left field. Jennings puts it away. Well, he made history picking up his 3,000th hit against David Price, and here's how he did it. Now, if that was history with an exclamation point, this history was kind of in italics, wasn't that dynamic. Could have been scored an error, but they gave him a base hit, and he'll take it. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Pitch inside, 1-0.
Nick Swisher, the last at-bat, got a first pitch changeup. Just missed it, just a little out in front.
There's an opportunity for Alex here, though. Price has worked awfully hard in this inning. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He's worried about the running game. Opportunity for Alex here. He swung the bat well last night against the lefty Dubront up in Boston. Couple of hits, couple of line drives. .82 pitches right now for Price, but a long inning here. I wonder if fatigue might be a factor at this point with Nunez at second and Jeter off of first.
Ground ball right side. Grabbed there by Elliott Johnson, and he makes the play to get Alex Rodriguez and save a run. Nice play by Elliott Johnson. At the All-Star game in San Francisco, Derek Jeter stood alongside Willie Mays, and for one night he did as well. Now he stands just a little bit ahead of him. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Keppinger will lead off here in the 6th. There's a strike. Now, you don't want to play the what-if game because you can't fall into the trap of the fallacy of the predetermined outcome. But if the ball doesn't hit Meals and it's a double, does Jeter's ground ball score Nunez? At least it gets him to third. And then Swisher's fly ball scores him again. Fallacy of the predetermined outcome is something to think about as the Yankees caught a bad break.
It's amazing that we have to talk about it, though. I mean, you brought it up. This guy working the series again after that call in Baltimore. You figure Umping at third base, not going to be a factor.
Grounded to third, backhanded by A-Rod. He sets and fires. And a nice stretch by Pierce to get Keppinger.
Seen some strong throws across the diamond from the left side tonight. Nunez, a couple of real nice plays and strong throws. Alex Rodriguez planting on his back leg, and Pierce, a nice stretch.
Really good writer here in New York, Ian O'Connor, just tweeted out, he said, I guess it's a good bet that David Price will be on the mound when Jeter gets hit number 4,257. David actually made some money off serving up that 3,000th hit. He signed pictures and it was part of the memorabilia market. The 2-1. Grounded to short. Nunez. 2 outs. Let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Files. Introducing Verizon Files quantum speed internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. James Shields will go for the Rays. He's 14-8, 3.71. Ivan Nova for the Yankees is back in the rotation, replacing Freddie Garcia. Nova 11-7, 4.92. Now the game's on Fox, and that's at 4 o'clock, but right after the last out, come to Yes for the Yankees Extra Innings Show, and they'll break down everything, get you the highlights and the interviews as well. Here's Chris Jimenez, who had the double that started the 3-run 5th inning, and he takes high, 1-0.
It's an interesting start tomorrow afternoon. Is Nova going to be the guy who struggled down the stretch, had a little bit of a problem with his shoulder? Is he going to be the first half guy who found a way to win ball games?
You got that start tomorrow, John, and then you got Tuesday with Andy Pettitte. So all these games mean a lot, but some question marks for the starters. What are they going to give you? There's a strike.
Got a pretty good idea what he's going to give you.
Yes. And no messing around. If Andy Pettitte says he wants the ball, you give him the ball. As long as the x-rays show that the fracture is healed, at this point in his career and the season, it's time to find out.
Yes, the biggest concern would be fatigue, right? I mean, you know, he's thrown a few simulated games, but he hasn't been able to run as much as Andy Pettitte loves to get his running in between starts.
The legs, absolutely. Yeah. A long inning. You know, a 30-35 pitch inning could shoot the whole thing down, so that's what you guard against.
This was earlier today, and he was doing some PFP, pitcher's fielding practice.
That's a good idea. Let's fire some fungos back at that shin. Whose idea was that? Just kidding. You got to be able to do everything out there, that's for sure.
Grounded softly to third, charging is A-Rod. And he just gets Jimenez for the final out. So 3 ground balls for CC Sabathia, Two plays by Alex Rodriguez. Makes a nice play for the final out. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Competing with the Yankees in the American League East has the toughest remaining schedule. You've been voting at 42951, and 55% say it's the Orioles, and I think I'd agree because of the West Coast swing, which they're beginning tonight in Oakland. So we go to the bottom of the sixth. Joe Maddon's team is leading 3-2, the first game of this three-game series. Ground ball up the middle. Elliott Johnson backhands and gets Cano for the first out. Elliott Johnson, who had a rough series against the Yankees in St. Pete, has made some nice plays tonight.
Nice play on Alex Rodriguez to end the fifth inning. Nice play right there. Robinson Cano, backhand, strong throw. Looks like Robbie gets jammed a little bit, not hit real hard.
And there's a strike to Russell Martin. And the count 0-2.
A tough at bat here for Russell Martin. Robinson Cano swings at the first pitch and grounds out. You don't want to get let Price off the hook here with an easy pitch count inning. So you take the first strike. Now you're in the hole 0-2 against a tough pitcher. Mind elevating that pitch count a little bit. Price, a guy usually about 100, 110, 112 pitches a game.
Did he go? Yes, he did, said Gary Darling. So Russell Martin down on strikes.
Well, the stuff is there. Price, after having missed a start, starting to mix in that off-speed stuff too. Curveballs and changeups, and get to see Martin just a little too far on that, but sitting at 88 pitches after having missed a start with the shoulder discomfort. Both he and James Shields lead the league. 21 times they've gone between 100 and 119 pitches. It'll be interesting to see how far they push him. Price is max this year at 123.
Like that right there from Andrew Jones, though. He was not going to swing at that ball no matter where it was taking all the way. Been an easy 2 outs here in the 6th inning for Price. Make him work a little bit. That makes him tough right there. 1-0, you drop a changeup down and away. You're expecting 96, you get 86.
Price also tied with Verlander from Detroit.
Andrew Jones dribbles one to short. Zobrist charges and gets Jones for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We've played 6 here at the stadium. It's a close one. Tampa Bay 3 and the New York Yankees 2. Carlos Pena will lead it off. Tampa Bay 2-5-0 Yankees. Elliott Johnson, an RBI single, a run scored. Derek Jeter passed Willie Mays on the all-time hits list. Jeter now stands alone in 10th place on that list. And Granderson picked up a solo home run. And for Granderson, it was his 38th home run of the year, and 90th run batted in. Carlos Pena will lead off against CC Sabathia. Dribbled slowly up the first baseline. Pierce cannot make the play as Pena has an infield single.
He's got trouble written all over it. Sabathia, the big fella, falls off towards third. Pierce reacts quickly, comes to get it. Leaves nobody home. Sabathia coming hard.
Sabathia's knee actually knocked the ball out of his hand. Bunted back to Sabathia. He goes to second and he gets the force.
Well, good play by CC Sabathia, fielding his position. Bunt right in front of him. Fires to second, gets the lead runner by plenty.
Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Tampa Bay leads.
Johnson's got, if you're bunting, you got to, like he was trying to bump for a hit there, and I know you can get caught in between, but you want to move the runner up. You make sure you get the bunt to the first baseman there and pass the pitcher.
And he goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Elliott Johnson.
That's his 18th stolen base of the year. He gets a great jump. He goes first move off the left-hander CC Sabathia. And a good throw from Russell Martin just a little bit late. The bottom of the lineup for the Rays really making the Yankees work a little bit. Pena gets on with an infield hit, then the bunt, now a stolen base. Bottom of the lineup had a productive 5th inning for the Rays.
Foul back.
And that's how you make up for the bunt. You run on the first pitch and get right to second base. A good read, though, because both of these pitchers, Price and Sabathia, have no pickoff moves hardly to first base. They both can slide step to home and quicken up their delivery, and Sabathia chose to do the leg kick there, so he gave Johnson every opportunity to get a jump. So Russell Martin, not a lot of help there.
Driven out to deep left field. Jones back. And he'll make the play as he goes on to the warning track. Elliott Johnson heads back to second. So Jennings gave it a ride into what was once Death Valley. And Jones ran it down.
Well, a 2-strike pitch that kind of spins middle of the plate. CC Sabathia got away with one right there. Andrew Jones covering a lot of ground to left center field. Over the shoulder catch. Looks like an out in the scorebook, but that was not a great 2-strike pitch by CC Sabathia.
Zobrist fouls it off.
Looks like with the Rays organization and Joe Madden, you know, after all the years of playing Zobrist as sort of a super utility guy, is now going to be the everyday shortstop after several years.
Right back up the middle. It's a base hit. Elliott Johnson rounds third. He's coming home. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's in there. RBI single for Zobrist. It's a 4-3 Rays lead.
That is a killer right there for the Yankees and CC Sabathia. It looked like a changeup out over the plate to Zobrist, and he hammers it right back up the middle. A good strong throw from Curtis Granderson. Johnson scores. I don't know why Zobrist did not continue to second base. That's what you're taught as a base runner, but he's still at first. Russell Martin tries to kick that leg out. It's just a little bit too late. And a big 2-out RBI base hit by Ben Zobrist.
Well, Zobrist single, and you see he does not advance to second. Is the last pitch that CC will throw today. So Joe Girardi takes the ball from him. He descends into the Yankee dugout. We will review his outing as the Yankees go to the pen when we get back. of the New York Yankees. CC Sabathia, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Runner at first is responsibility. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts to 110 pitches. And Joe Girardi has made the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. And Cody Epley makes his 52nd appearance. All right, guys, what'd you think of Sabathia?
You know what jumps out to me? 3 strikeouts against the Tampa Bay Ray lineup, which you have to say is not one of the most powerful lineups in the American League. And I thought in the middle of the game he got to go in 3rd, 4th inning. Looked like, you know what, this is what we're used to seeing, and then took a step backwards at the end of the game.
Well, I think I would agree with that. I think he just had a little trouble, you know, in the 5th inning. He had a crooked number. They gave up 3 runs.
Fly ball right field. Long run for Swisher into the corner. He'll make the play for the final out of the inning. We'll discuss it more in the bottom of the inning, but the Rays get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The end of 6 1/2 is time for the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium. Rays lead the Yankees 4-2, but we'll stay here in the Bronx to honor America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you.
CC Sabathia gets knocked out in the top of the 7th inning. Let's take a look at the K by K, David, and it is brought to you by Mazda, and this is the K by K for David Price.
We see he started out early with the fastball, but then he goes to the curveball. He's notorious for that fastball, but I think he got a sense that he needed to go off speed, and he kind of broke it out. 3 of those 4 strikeouts on curveballs.
Cadillac scoreboard 4-2. Tampa Bay leads. Sam Fuld takes over in right field for Ben Francisco. CC goes 6 2/3 innings. And he allows 4 runs. Granderson homered in his last at bat. Foul back.
Just to finish our point we started last inning on CC, you know, it was the 5th inning, a three spot. Anytime you have a crooked number in a game like this, you got to look back at that inning a little bit and say, how could you minimize the damage a little better? And it all was putting away hitters because he was ahead in the count. It wasn't as if he got wild. Price going to the curveball once again for his 5th strikeout of the night. He's starting to get that going as he's getting backed up by the Rays bullpen. But the thing with CC is he's just putting away hitters. It wasn't as if he was walking guys or got wild. He got to 2-strike positions and had trouble putting away Jimenez, had trouble putting away Pena, and that led to the problems. And Sabathia not really like he was banged around. You know, ground ball to fly ball ratio was 11 ground balls to 2 fly balls. But some of those ground balls found holes. And his inability to put away hitters when he did get ahead with 2 strikes, in particular the bottom of the Rays order, really hurt him bad.
Swing and a miss.
That's why when I saw that line, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, you would have expected a lot more strikeouts against his lineup for the Rays. Like you said, didn't have that one pitch to put him away. The 100th pitch for David Price. I'm sure he was loving that base hit by Zobrist. Gives him a little breathing room. If he makes one mistake, it won't cost him the ball game.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. That was his 100th pitch.
See, the 9-pitch 6th inning really saved him and allowed him to come back out for the 7th.
Did he hold up that time? No, he did not. So Pierce down on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Price. Yankees down 4-2 on the bottom of the 7th inning here at the stadium.
Price going with the off-speed pitch, curveball slider. Another check swing. Pierce doesn't get away with it the 2nd time. Really attacking here in the 7th inning against the bottom of the Yankee lineup.
Really going heavy on the off-speed stuff.
0-1.
Really the difference in David Price, you know, at this point in his career as opposed to when he first broke in, that he's comfortable enough to 3rd time through the order really feature all of his secondary pitches and still have that to go to. 95. The Rays have to feel really good about the read on his shoulder issue.
Ground ball is short. Zobrist, and Price has retired the last 8 Yankees in a row. We played 7 innings here at the stadium. Rays lead the Yankees 4-2. Upton will lead off. tomorrow after the nationally broadcast game on Fox for in-depth post-game analysis with Tri-State Ford extra innings. And Sunday, complete game coverage starts at noon without a batting practice today, and it's only on Yes. Running out of time here in the Bronx as we go to the 8th inning, and the Rays lead 4-2. Cody Epley on in relief of CC Sabathia. The Hyundai scoreboard 4-6-0, leading 2-5-0. And there's a strike to B.J. Upton. Epley came on to get the final out of the 7th inning. Upton grounds one foul outside of third. Rapata and Wade. High drive, left field. Jones back. Track. Wall. See ya. Home run Upton. And it's 5-2 Rays.
Well, Michael, you mentioned that Upton has been hot lately. His 23rd home run of the year. Now batting cleanup for the Rays. You got a couple of sinkers from Epley, and then finally a slider that looked like it just spun middle of the plate. You watch how Russell Martin reaches back towards the middle. And Upton gets underneath it a little bit, but good backspin that just keeps carrying into that Rays pen.
Keppinger takes outside. We'll take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Right on the sweet spot, no stride, high finish.
Boy, everything you look for in a swing, he just executed right there. The knob of the bat led. Got a good look at it there in that Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. The bat head followed, and then the extension. He wants a knob of the bat first, starts the swing, coming right at you, and then the bat head follows, and there's the extension of the follow through.
Two and two.
Five runs for the Rays tonight. That's an offensive explosion for this ball club lately. Only scored 6 runs in 3 days in Baltimore when they got swept.
Grounded to Nunez. And he gets Keppinger for the first out.
If you're the Yankees, you start thinking that the bottom of the 8th is a huge inning. Fernando Rodney, the closer for the Rays, having an unbelievable season.
And Joe Girardi will start mixing and matching. Sam Fuld is due up. Remember, he took over for Francisco and Wright. So the Yankees will go to the left-hander. Discusses their approach to college sports television, plus NFL team evaluations and a breakdown of the highest paid players in the league. It's a new Forbes Sports Money tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Clay Rapata, his 65th game. He's done a good job for the Yankees. And he's going to face Sam Fold. Francisco was 0 for 3 in this spot in the order.
65 games, 35 innings.
Pitch outside. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. He's had a busy night at third and made some good plays. 2 away.
Well, he's got to play in on the grass, respecting the possibility of a bunt. A hot shot right at him. Gets to his feet. Make sure he's got his body moving in the right direction. Easy play from there. Nice reactions over there at the hot corner.
Here's Chris Jimenez. Sabathia was pitching a shutout through 4. Then Jimenez led off the 5th inning with a double, and that opened up the gauge for 3 runs. Tampa Bay has not trailed since. And a strike.
It's really the bottom of the Rays order. A lot of damage. Jimenez, Pena, and Johnson. 7, 8, and 9.
Lined into left center field. Cutting over is Granderson. Cuts it off in the gap. Jimenez is going for 2. And he will make it his 2nd double of the night.
Jimenez likes the scap, doesn't he? He likes the fastball, too.
Well, the Rays will take it. They've been looking for somebody behind the plate to swing the bat, give them a little offense. A nice night for the Rays catcher tonight, wearing out that left center field gap.
4 hits and 4 runs from the bottom 3 hitters in the Rays order.
And that's a balk as Jimenez moves to 3rd.
Looked like a little flinch from Clay Rapata there. See here, just a little start to stop. That's all it takes. Almost just a little shoulder turn, like you're going to start your delivery. And once you turn your shoulder, that's defined as the start of a delivery.
There's a strike.
So therefore you would have to come set and then step off the mound to do it the proper way.
Sometimes there's a little lack of communication between a pitcher and catcher. Catcher puts down the sign, the pitcher's staring in. Catcher thinks he should go to a different sign, and then all of a sudden there's that little flinch.
Strike to Pena. Farnsworth and Peralta. Well, the Rays have to be happy with the way Price pitched after skipping him a start because of a sore shoulder. He threw it as hard as 97 tonight.
We talked about the 5th inning. See the Rays closer sitting there wondering with a 3-run lead. He's going to be needed tonight, but it was Pena's walk in the 5th inning too that was a big part of that 3-run inning. That's really the difference in the game right now.
Count 2-2 to Pena.
We talked about that at bat. You know, Carlos Pena had the grand slam off of CC Sabathia in the 1st inning of the opening game on a fastball on a 3-2 count. Sabathia tried to throw all sliders to him in that particular at bat. Pena eyeballed a couple of them and got a good walk that helped set up that 3-run 5th as well.
And he's worked the count full, 3-2. Elliott Johnson on deck. Swing and a miss. Pena down on strikes. But one more run for the Rays. A B.J. Upton home run is 23rd. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees and the Rays. Rays lead by 3. Tonight's candidates are number 1, David Price, number 2, Curtis Granderson, number 3, Desmond Jennings, number 4, B.J. Upton. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Well, John mentioned this before. It behooves the Yankees to get something done in this inning, because when you see later on what the closer of the Rays has done, an ERA under 1, it doesn't look real good to come back against him. So here's Joel Peralta. The Yankees will take their shot with Peralta after David Price.
Peralta struggling a little bit lately. It allowed a run in 3 of his last 9 games, a 4.32 ERA. So top of the lineup for the Yankees. Maybe a bullpen guy is not on top of his game. We'll see what happens here.
And that closer for the Rays is Fernando Rodney, having just one of the best seasons you could have. Jose Molina takes over for Jimenez behind the plate. The Hyundai scoreboard, 5-2 Tampa Bay. Jeter will lead off, and Derek 5 for 11 lifetime against Peralta. Foul back.
Well, I'm sure David Price in the clubhouse, probably some ice on that shoulder. Answered a lot of questions tonight with the Rays organization. Missed the start. Joe Madden, Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, had to be pleased. Velocity was good. Breaking stuff was outstanding. Good changeup. Pitch count was elevated. Looks like he's going to be all right the rest of the way.
Add to his league leading total of quality starts. After missing his last start, he now has 22 quality starts, which leads the American League. Came in tied with Justin Verlander in that particular category, but David Price all over the leaderboard. Certainly right at the top of the list for potential Cy Young Award winner.
Popped up. Pena Runs out of room. Derek using some body English to get that ball into the seats. And it worked. Foul back. Yankees have not been that great this year, coming back from deficits late. Oh, you beat scoreboard there. They're 8-53 when trailing after 7 innings, and they're the only team in baseball that has not picked up a win trailing after 8 innings. 0-53. 1-2. 2-2. Talked to Bobby Valentine today, and he said that Derek Jeter's the best player that he's ever seen. He said that when people look at the knock they'll have on him, well, those hits he got against the Red Sox were blue hits. He said, but those are thought out. He shortens his swing in certain situations, tries to put the ball in play, knows exactly what he's doing. He said he's just a phenomenal player.
It's coming from somebody that's seen him too for a while, and both as manager of the Mets and all those interleague games, and also as an announcer too.
Two. There is a base hit down the right field line. Kicks off the wall, and Jeter will stop at first. Jeter has a 10-game hitting streak.
Well, a classic Derek Jeter swing, back up the fastball, let it travel, and hammer it the other way. Bounces right out to the field, and Full does a nice job barehanding and a strong throw to hold Derek Jeter to a single.
It's a little unlucky here, Flash. I mean, it's one spot in Yankee Stadium that has a little quirk in it. The jut out position catches it right on the edge and kicks it out instead of down into the corner. And that keeps Derek at first base instead of standing on second with an easy double.
We're thinking back to that pop-up, too, that was just out of the reach of Pena. Could have been easily an out in this inning. Now all of a sudden you have a base hit. Maybe something starting here.
Now, I don't mean this to denigrate the other players on the Yankees, and if in fact it does it, well, then it does it. But this guy is really trying to carry this team on his own. He's come out every day, and he seems like he gets a couple of hits, and nobody else seems to be joining the parade, and that's why they're struggling.
He's doing it on one leg.
Pitch is high. I mean, other people have to step up, and you know, we've talked about this a lot too. You see what he's done during this 10-game hitting streak, 20 for 46. There's just so many times you can give credit to the pitcher. I know they had a top quality pitcher out there today in David Price, but there were guys like Aaron Cook you struggled against, and Felix Doubront. At some point you got to put the blame on the Yankee hitters, and Derek Jeter is really trying to carry this team himself. It's time for others to join the party. Count 1-0 on Swisher, and they get Rodney up here in the 8th. This is a must-win for the Rays. They're 4 out. They're running out of time. Pitch is high, 2-0.
Flash mentioned that Joel Peralta is kind of coming in, struggling a little bit, but really been solid for the Rays. He came in with 33 holds, which is not a lot of people's favorite stat, but it is what it is, which is second in the American League. Vinny Pastano from Cleveland's got 35.
Count 2-1.
Well, you know, there's the difference right there for Nick Swisher. I mean, when he was really locked and loaded and was hot, he'd get a 2-0 fastball and absolutely hammer it. And this is right down Broadway, not overpowering with the velocity, and he's just a little bit late, a little bit long with the swing and maybe the leg kick. And that's the difference between a hot hitter and somebody who's struggling a little bit lately. As Peralta basically said, here's my fastball, I don't think you can hit it, and he beat him on a 2-0 count.
The 2-1. Popped up. Zobrist for the first out.
There's been a lot of shaking of the head of Nick Swisher lately. Again, fastball right down the middle. Sometimes it's the leg kick, maybe is a little bit late, a little bit long, makes your swing just a little bit slower, and you're missing pitches that you know you should be hammering. A little frustration.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. That one is drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for A-Rod. A 2-run shot. Yankees trail 5-4.
Get much more aggressive early in the count and much quicker on the inner half of the plate. First pitch swinging, fastball on the inner third of the plate. Alex, over the last several games, quick to the spot on the second deck. Little curl of the bat, the leg kick. Head down, right through.
Cano takes a pitch high. With that run on this swing, Alex Rodriguez now passes Lou Gehrig for sole possession of 9th place on baseball's all-time run scored list with 1,889 runs scored. Well, we got a ball game here in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trail 5-4, 1-0 count on Cano. 2-0. Jim Hickey wants to talk with Peralta.
Well, Michael, you said somebody else had to join the party with Derek Jeter. Alex Rodriguez. Pretty good numbers right there all time for runs scored.
2 top 10s right there next to each other.
Two of the veterans, and one guy on the left has been carrying the team all year. Alex Rodriguez has been slowed by injuries, but he's got to start hitting home runs too. People have to step up. This is game number 19 left in the season, and they're tied with the Orioles, and the Orioles will start in about 5 minutes in Oakland.
And Robinson Cano in a good hitter's count, 2-0 right here.
The 2-0. Breaking ball upstairs, 3-0.
You can see Robinson Cano thinking a little bit right there. Wow, I thought I was going to get a fastball. He went with a slider. It was not a good one. The Yankee pen starting to get loose. Jabba Chamberlain, Rafael Soriano.
There's a strike.
Good take right there. A 2-0 breaking ball. If you're Robinson, 3-0, maybe a little doubt in your mind, so you take one. I don't think there's any doubt in his mind right here. If he gets something he likes, got a pitcher scuffling a little bit, take advantage.
The 3-1. 3-2.
Well, things have changed now. Nick Swisher was getting 2-0, 1-0, 2-0 fastballs. Robinson Cano, a 3-1 slider. Obviously, the game has changed a lot since that 2-run home run from Alex Rodriguez. Jose Molina behind the plate, veteran, calling pitches, knows can't just lay one in there to Robinson Cano. Going off speed again.
And he walked him. Now, Fernando Rodney on September 1st had a 5-out save. He's essentially a one-inning guy. And he's going to try to bring in Rodney right now. Again, we're saying this is a big game for the Yankees. They have some wiggle room. It's a gigantic game for the Rays, who have lost 3 in a row to the Orioles, and they're 4 games out entering this game. So this is the move for Joe Madden. He's going for it all. He's bringing in his closer, Fernando Rodney, to try to stop the Yankees right here. For the Rays, unless there's extra innings, Yankees are down by 1, and look at the numbers on Rodney. They're historically good. 0.68 ERA. He's blown just 2 saves, 42 out of 44. A strikeout per inning, and look at the whip. It's under 1. 39 hits and 13 walks. That adds up to 51 base runners in 66 and a third innings. Those are great numbers.
Well, they're great numbers. He also pitched yesterday in that 14-inning marathon in Baltimore.
This is what he's done against the Yankees in 9 games. He's 6 for 6, has not walked a batter, and he has struck out 9. He's attempting to become the second pitcher in Major League history to finish a season with more than 40 saves and a sub-1 ERA. Only other one to do it, Dennis Eckersley in 1990. He had 48 saves, a 0.61 ERA. Now, Chris Dickerson looks like he's thinking about going out, but they're not going to pinch run for Cano. With a 1-run deficit, you might need him in the 9th inning. I don't know if they were playing around with Dickerson, but he's kind of got a sheepish grin. So now it's Rodney against Martin. 1 man out in the 8th, trying for a 5-out save. Grounded foul. 95 miles an hour, the fastball, and he's got a great changeup.
Great changeup that he can throw for strikes. You see the league leaders in saves, tied with Jim Johnson of Baltimore. That's the thing for me. He can throw his changeup anytime for a strike. And I'm used to seeing that from a reliever who has that overpowering of a fastball in the hat. Off center a little bit.
0-2.
A very unusual delivery, too. No leg kick. There is a transfer in there, a weight transfer, but not too many guys in the big leagues that throw the ball like this guy does. Usually you have a conventional leg kick, or if you have a slide step, it's because you're trying to hold a runner on. But Fernando Rodney, just kind of a shuffle.
Just got a piece. So he's just gone with fastballs here.
So flash. I don't know if you're in the box, you know, and a guy's not really kicking his leg up. He just kind of jumps at you. It's got some deception in there.
It throws all of your timing out. As a hitter, you want to see a delivery where you can move when the pitcher starts moving. He just kind of slides towards you without a real big leg kick. It adds to his deception. You know, 97 is deceptive enough with good velocity and the changeup. Then you throw a little different delivery on top of it, and you know why he's been so effective this year.
Cano's at first, 1 out. 2 runs in on Alex Rodriguez's monster home run to left field that brought in Derek Jeter and A-Rod, make it 5-4. Cano walked, that knocked out Peralta. They bring in Rodney. 1-2 on Martin. Swing and a miss, he got him to the second out.
Pretty tough, 15 miles an hour slower than that 97, and you see the changeup. And it's got tight spin on it too. You know, that's the thing. It's got great arm action. And you see Martin, you got to guard against the fastball, and you get the changeup at 83.
And you're trying to get the timing off of the delivery. You almost start your swing from a standstill.
Ibanez pinch hitting for Andrew Jones. Pitch is low.
But even if you're the Yankees, Ibanez here, Russell Martin, if you don't get to Rodney, get his pitch count and make him work this inning. Has to come back out there for the bottom of the 9th. Try to make him work as hard as you can here in the 8th.
And that one gets past Molina, and that's big. Now that moves Cano in the scoring position where he could score on a base hit.
Well, Molina, one of the best defensive catchers in the game, but when a pitcher's throwing 97 and he yanks it down and in and misses by a whole plate, you're just hoping you backhand and pick the baseball. He's not able to do it. Robinson Cano, a big run, who is now in scoring position.
There's that change, 3-0.
A lot of respect there shown to Raul Ibanez in this ballpark.
Granderson is on deck. And he walked it. Granderson, 1 for 3 tonight. Hit a home run off the top of the wall in right center and bounced into the Yankee bullpen. 38th home run of the year. First and second, 2 outs. And he grounds one softly to second base. And that is going to do it. So Rodney gets out of further trouble, but the Yankees creep closer. A 2-run home run by A-Rod makes it 5-4 Rays. We're going to the 9th. Gat Curry wrap up tonight's matchup in the Bronx and get you the latest updates on the playoff picture. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz with the reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes, but that's still a whiles away as we have an entire ninth inning to play. And Jabba Chamberlain will take over for the Yankees to keep it here at 5-4. Raul Ibanez takes over in left. And boy, has Jabba moved up in the pecking order in the Yankee bullpen. A big inning for them right here to keep it at 5-4, give him a chance against Rodney in the bottom of the ninth. And a lot of that ERA was in his first 9 appearances coming off the DL and out of a rehab assignment. And he's been much better since. And Matt Joyce is going to pinch hit for Elliott Johnson. Elliott Johnson did some damage today. 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, stolen base, RBI. But they turn to Joyce.
And a couple of good plays in the field, too.
Starts him off with a breaking ball strike. That slider 0-2.
That's a pitch that has really improved since he's gotten back to the big leagues. When he threw that slider early on, it just kind of rolled a little bit, but now he's getting that good sharp break down and in on the lefty, away from the righties. Fastball command has gotten better as well.
96 fastball. On the slider. Joyce goes down on strikes.
Well, it's quick and it's late, and if you see a slider that's in the dirt like that and a lefty swinging over it, you know that Joyce was completely fooled and read fastball. The late break on the slider and the velocity definitely much better now for Jabba.
Foul back. Strike to Jennings. Fouled off. Jabba working quickly, throwing strikes. The good fastball, the hard slider.
You can tell he's locked in when he threw that fastball in on Jennings, right on the inside corner. And as you mentioned, Michael, getting the baseball and delivering it. Doesn't look like he's thinking about anything mechanical. He knows he's got it going on. Now just execute a pitch.
If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, you've got Pierce, Nunez, and Jeter, but you also have people on the bench where they could pinch hit. You've got Ichiro waiting on the bench. You've got Dickerson, got lefty bats there. And Rodney is going to try to get those 3 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Looped into shallow right field, and it's a base hit. Swisher will get the ball in, and a single for Jennings. Now he's a threat to run. He's stolen 26 out of 28 this year.
Goes down to get it. He's probably got a little more plate than Jabba wanted, either more away or more down, but Jennings with a defensive swing.
It's frustrating. You execute the pitch you want to make, and then he gets a hit like that, and then all of a sudden you toe the rubber and you're like, now I got to worry about him as a runner. You know, running game important for the Rays.
93% success rate. I think he threw him the curveball there.
Yeah, he's about 81 miles an hour. So generally, Jabba will feature that early in the count to try to get a strike with it and save his slider for swing and misses. When you have that kind of success rate, as we just saw with Jennings on first base, over 93%, there's two things. Either you need to try more, or you need to get on base more. Push the system a little bit.
With the curveball again, 2-0.
Bill James, the godfather of sabermetrics, generally says on the deke that you need about a 70% success rate to sort of make it worth your while to try to steal. You're up over 90%. You should probably be taking a little more liberties and trying a little more often, or maybe just not enough opportunities.
Driven into right center field, long run for Granderson, and he makes the play. And Jennings will have to hustle back to first. Granderson saved an extra base hit, probably a run.
I think he did save a run there, Michael. I mean, he covered a lot of ground, and the way Jennings runs, he got a good secondary lead. Was almost about second base when this ball was caught. Fastball out over the plate. He tries to tomahawk it out to right center field. Granderson just runs it down.
Jennings had to put on the brakes and head back to first. So that brings up Longoria. Top of the ninth inning, 5-4 Rays. There's that slider strike.
Give Russell Martin and Jabba a little bit of credit here with Jennings at first base. And the way he steals bases, Jabba not giving in and throwing all fastballs. He's throwing a bunch of off-speed pitches. You talked about the curveballs to Zobrist. Slider there to Longoria.
Snap throw to first. Wow, Jennings just got back a very quick tag by Steve Pearce and a good throw by Martin.
Well, the pitch out called. He's not running, but the throw to first, accurate and quick. And Jennings just gets his foot back. Pitch out back to back here. I'm thinking after the pitch out, Jennings probably going to take his opportunity.
Does not have good numbers against Chamberlain, as you can see. 1 for 15. Another throw over.
This is the part right here, Flash. If I'm on the mound, I think the best defense you have of Jabba Chamberlain is just varying your delivery. Not throwing over to first base 4 or 5 times, but holding the ball.
Runner goes, swung on a miss, throw to second. And Jennings with the stolen base, backing up as Nunez. Stolen base number 27 and 29 tries.
Case in point, one of the problems here, you see Jabba 1-2 in delivering. The timing of that delivery the same almost on every pitch. If he could have spread that out to a count of 4 or 5, would have done much better. I never had much of a pickoff move, Flash, but any success I did have was just by holding the ball a little bit, varying your delivery to home plate. One time you go quick to home, the next time you hold the ball a little longer. Jennings still able to time Jabba despite all those calls from the bench and all those throwovers to first base.
1-2. Grounded to short and under the glove of Nunez and into left field. Jennings will score, and the Rays lead 6-4 on the error by Nunez. Big boot by Eduardo Nunez.
Well, and he had looked so impressive last night in Boston, making some routine plays. Tonight, making some spectacular plays. You wonder if Jennings running right in front of him should not be a distraction. Just did not stay down, came up a little bit early, and a huge error, a huge run for the Rays.
As Larry Rothschild comes out and talks with Java. That's why Eduardo was sent down to the minor leagues earlier this year, because he made some errors in inopportune times. So Longoria hits a ground ball to short under the glove of Nunez, and a big insurance run for Tampa Bay. And Thompson will pinch run for Longoria. He's also a threat to steal. There he goes. Throw to second. Rich Thompson steals second.
Russell Martin, I'm sure he's frustrated behind the plate, but he has no chance. And the worst thing you can do is rush your throw, make a bad throw, make a throwing error. I mean, it's a good jump. It's a slider down in the way, and there's just no chance.
The 0-1 to Upton. Fouled away, 0-2. Obviously, the run scored is unearned, but boy, it counts on the scoreboard. And the Rays have built a little picket fence over the last 3 innings, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th, as they lead 6-4. Now Martin wants to talk with Chamberlain. Orioles underway in Oakland. There's no score. Top of the second. Joe Saunders against Tommy Malone. The 0-2. 1-2. And Bob and Jack will have all those scores and highlights on the postgame show, and Meredith will obviously get everything you need from the Yankee clubhouse.
Tommy Malone, the A's young left-hander, really tough at home this year out in Oakland.
Swing and a miss. Upton down on strikes. But an error by Eduardo Nunez, an absolute dagger, allowing an insurance run to score. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Brignac will take over at second base as the Rays try to protect this 2-run lead. So it became a little tougher when that insurance run scored, but the Yankees obviously they have an opportunity here in the bottom of the 9th inning to rally against Fernando Rodney. The Yankees have not done it all year, so they'll be bucking that trend. The only team in the big leagues who have never come back after trailing 8 innings. And Ichiro is going to pinch hit for Steve Pearce. Yankees need a base runner as Ichiro takes a pitch outside, 1-0. Eduardo Nunez getting a lot of love from his teammates. Jabba came over. Robbie Thompson. He's angry with himself, but even Joe Girardi tries to settle him down. There's a ground ball to Brignac. 1 away here in the 9th. Yankees are trying to avoid Rodney shooting that arrow into the Bronx sky. That's how he celebrates each save. And he's done it 6 times against the Yankees, so he's looking for his 7th in 7 tries. Here's Eric Chavez pinch hitting for Nunez. And there's a strike.
Well, you look for matchups and numbers. Eric Chavez 0 for 7 against Rodney. Derek Jeter, good numbers, 5 for 8. He's on deck. The only way Eric Chavez can get on there, try to extend this inning.
There's that changeup that makes him so effective to count 0-2.
Everything you look for in a changeup is the change of speeds and velocity from the fastball. He has that. He has deception. He jumps at you. A devastating pitch.
High fly ball, center field. And the Yankees are down to their final out. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. He is 2 for 4 tonight. Moved ahead of Willie Mays on the all-time hits list and stands alone in 10th place. And then got another hit in the 8th inning. The hit that moved him ahead of Mays was off the glove of Elliott Johnson in the 5th. And then a clean single down the right field line in the 8th. And it scored one of the Yankees' 4 runs. There's a strike to Jeter. The last hope for the Yankees. If he gets on, Swisher has power. He's on deck. Oh, 2.
Jeter's 2 hits climbs his season total to 197. I think all but a foregone conclusion that he's going to surpass the 200 hit mark this year. Like to make it 198 right here. Give the Yankees a chance at least.
And Jeter could not hold up. He swings and misses, and the Yankees lose 6-4. The Rays snap their losing streak. They gain a game on the Yankees, and a very tough loss for the New York Yankees. They start their titular ace in CC Sabathia. He did not overwhelm the Tampa Bay Rays. David Price, after missing a start with a sore shoulder, he beats the Yankees again. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Now the Yankees will wait on the Orioles and the A's to see if they have a share of first place as we go to the morrow. We'll come back.